What's up, everybody? This is Tech G back with another video to help you successfully pass the CompTIA 1201 certification exam. So let's get into it. All right, so let's be real. Our mobile devices are our lifelines. We use them for texting, calling, working, gaming, banking, streaming, and sometimes, if we're lucky, actually relaxing. But all that digital magic relies on one thing: proper connectivity. So if you've ever fumbled around trying to get Bluetooth to pair, fought with the Wi-Fi signal, or stared at your screen wondering why your email app stopped syncing, well, you're not alone. And if you're preparing for the CompTIA 1201 exam, then buckle up, because this video is your one-stop crash course for configuring mobile network connections and keeping those apps running like a dream. So with that being said, let's go. Before you can set up any apps or features on a mobile device, you need a working internet connection. And mobile devices, they typically connect in three main ways. The first way is Wi-Fi. So Wi-Fi, this is the most common way people connect mobile devices to the internet, especially when trying to avoid data charges. How do you connect? Well, it's really simple. Just go to your settings, go to Wi-Fi, turn the Wi-Fi on, tap the name of the network, which is called your SSID, and then enter the Wi-Fi password if required, and then wait for a confirmation to let you know that you've been connected. Now, some common issues that you might come across are incorrect passwords. So you want to double check those sneaky capital letters or symbols. You might come across a weak signal. If so, you want to try to move closer to the router, or you might run into no internet despite being connected. And if that's the case, you want to reboot the router or check for a service outage. All right, so the next way people connect is through cellular data. So sometimes you're on the go and Wi-Fi is not available, and that's where your mobile carrier's data network comes in. And how do you enable this? Really simple. Just go to settings, cellular or mobile data, turn it on, ensure that roaming is enabled if traveling, depending upon your plan. And basically, you're going to see symbols like 3G, 4G, LTE, or 5G in the status bar to indicate your connection speed. Now, as a tip, 5G is fast, but this can drain your battery quicker. And many devices, they let you switch between 5G and LTE depending upon coverage and battery usage. All right, next we have what is called a hotspot. So if you want to share your phone's internet with your laptop or another device, then you're going to use your phone as a personal hotspot. Now, how do you set it up? Real simple. Just go to your settings, personal hotspot, and turn it on. And then go ahead and set a strong password. Please do not use 123456 as a password. And then after you do all of that, you want to connect from your other device just like any other Wi-Fi network. Now, as a heads up, be cautious because this does use up your cellular data, so you want to watch out for those data caps. All right, next let's talk about a SIM and an eSIM. So SIM, this stands for Subscriber Identity Module, and then its digital cousin is eSIM. And basically, this is what links your device to your mobile network. Now, the key points here are this. Physical SIMs, they can be swapped out if you're switching carriers or traveling. eSIMs, they are programmable, and they can support multiple carriers or profiles on one device. Now, as a troubleshooting tip, if your device shows no SIM or invalid SIM, you want to make sure it's seated correctly or contact your carrier if you're using an eSIM. All right, so let's talk about Bluetooth, which is the short-range wireless technology that we use to connect headphones, car stereos, smartwatches, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So how do you turn it on? Real simple. Just go to your settings, hit Bluetooth, and turn it on, and then wait for your device to start scanning for nearby items. Now, how do you pair these things? Well, you want to make sure that the other device, such as your headphones or your car system, is in pairing mode. You want to select it from the list on your phone or tablet. You want to enter the PIN code if prompted, and oftentimes the PIN will be 0000 or 1234 unless specified. And then you want to wait for confirmation that you're connected. And then after you do all of that, you want to test it out. So go ahead and play some music, make a call, or transfer a file. Just make sure that it is working as expected. Now, some common pairing issues that you might come across is the device is not showing up. So you want to ensure that it is in pairing mode and it is close enough. Another issue is that your device might already be paired with something else. If that's the case, you want to disconnect other devices first, or your device is still not connecting. If that's the case, you want to restart both devices and try again. All right, so let's move on to talk about location services. So, modern mobile devices, they rely on location services for navigation, weather updates, fitness tracking, and much more. And the first one we're going to talk about is GPS, or the Global Positioning System. This is the main tool that your phone uses to know where you are with satellite level accuracy. Now, how do you enable it? Just go to settings, go to location services, turn it on. Then you can control which apps have access to your GPS. You also have cellular location services. So, in areas where GPS is weak, like if you're indoors, your phone may rely on cell towers and Wi Fi triangulations to approximate your location. Now, why does this matter? Well, applications like Uber, Google Maps, and weather, they need accurate location data to function properly. And if they're acting weird, you want to make sure your location services are turned on and the permissions are set. All right, so let's move on and talk about mobile device management, or MDM. So, if you're working in IT or managing a fleet of company phones, then mobile device management, this is your best friend. And MDM tools, they help IT administrators configure, secure, and manage mobile devices, especially in a workplace setting. And when it comes to MDM, you generally have two types. You have corporate and BYOD. So you have corporate or corporate owned devices. And basically, these are fully managed and configured by the IT department. And then you have BYOD, and that stands for bring your own device. And this is when the employee owns the device, but the company applications and settings are pushed via the MDM application software. Now, what can MDM actually do? Well, it can enforce security policies like screen locks and encryption. It can remotely wipe a device if it's lost or stolen. It can push corporate applications like email, VPN, or secure browsers. And it can configure Wi-Fi, VPN, and other network settings. And a real life example of this would be where you're going to start a new job and you're asked to install a company portal application. Well, that's MDM in action. Now, some key considerations here are privacy. So MDM solutions for BYOD, they often create a work profile to separate business and personal data. And then another consideration is compliance. So companies that use MDM to ensure devices meet regulatory or internal security requirements. All right, so let's move into application support, especially for syncing data like email, calendars, and contacts. So most modern mobile devices support automatic synchronization across multiple platforms like Google, Microsoft, Apple, and others that are out there. And some common synchronization items include email, calendars, contacts, notes and tasks, business applications. Now, how do you configure all of this? Well, go to your settings, go to accounts. If you're on an iOS, just go to passwords and accounts, tap add an account, choose your provider like Google or Microsoft, sign in, then toggle what you want to sync, either your mail, your calendar, contacts, or whatever. Then you want to go ahead and test it. So after you do all of that, add a contact or calendar event on your phone, and then make sure it appears on your laptop or webmail account. All right, so let's move on and talk about data caps and cloud storage. So whether you're syncing photos or using cloud applications, it is important to know your data limits, especially when using mobile networks. And as a pro tip, you want to enable sync over Wi-Fi only for large data transfers. You want to use data saver mode on Android or low data mode on iOS. And you want to monitor your usage by going to your settings and then hitting Cellular or through your carrier's application. Now, when it comes to cloud storage, you have applications like Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, and iCloud. All of them are used to back up files and make them accessible across devices. Now, why does this matter? Well, it prevents data loss, it enables remote access, and it saves local storage space. Now, how do you set this up? Well, you're going to install the relevant cloud application. You're going to sign in and select the folders or files that you want to synchronize. And then you're going to choose auto backup options to back up your photos, videos, docs, or whatever it is that you want to synchronize. Now, let's quickly go over some real world troubleshooting scenarios that you might run into out there in the field. And the first scenario is you might encounter somebody who's saying that their Bluetooth earbuds will not connect. So how do you fix this? Well, you want to ensure that the Bluetooth is on. You want to make sure the earbuds are in pairing mode. You want to remove any previous pairings. You want to repair and test with a phone call or listening to some music application. Another scenario you might run into is somebody saying that they're not getting work emails on their phone. First thing you want to do, you want to check the internet connection to see if they're on Wi-Fi or cellular. You then want to verify their account credentials under the email settings. You want to make sure that the mail sync is enabled, and you want to try removing or re-adding the account. And another scenario that you might run into is a person saying that their phone keeps eating data when they're not using it. So the first thing you want to do, you want to check which applications are using background data in the settings. You want to restrict background data usage. You want to set limits and alerts in their data settings. And then you want to enable Wi-Fi only synchronization for apps like Google Photos or OneDrive. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap all this up. So mobile devices are not going anywhere. If anything, they're becoming even more critical in both personal and professional settings. So whether you're configuring Wi-Fi, troubleshooting email, or setting up a new device for a remote worker, understanding how to manage connectivity and support applications is a must-have skill in IT. And for the CompTIA A+ exam and in real life, this knowledge helps you deliver better tech support, faster resolutions, and happier users. So the next time someone says, "Why won't my phone connect?" you can smile, nod, and get to work like a true IT pro. And one last thing, if you're studying for the CompTIA A+ certification, you want to be sure to practice these skills on both Android and iOS devices. The interfaces may be slightly different, but the fundamentals are the same, and mastering both gives you a major edge. All right, so with all that being said, let's do some check on learning. So our first question is, a user wants to share their mobile phone's internet connection with a laptop. Which feature should be enabled on the mobile device? Would it be airplane mode, hotspot, Bluetooth pairing, or eSIM? And the correct answer is hotspot. So a hotspot, this allows a mobile device to share its cellular data connection with other devices, such as a laptop using Wi-Fi. Airplane mode, this disables all wireless communication. Bluetooth pairing is for device-to-device connections. And eSIM, this is for activating cellular service, not for sharing it. Next question. While setting up a Bluetooth headset, the user is prompted to enter a PIN. What is the most likely default PIN for this type of device? Is it the last 4 digits of the mobile number? Is it a code generated by the mobile device? Is it a simple code like 0000 or 1234? Or is it the SIM card PIN? And the correct answer is it's a simple code like 0000 or 1234. So Bluetooth devices, they often use default pins like 0000 or 1234 for pairing. And this can vary depending upon the manufacturer, but these simple default codes are common. And the mobile device number or SIM pin is not typically used for Bluetooth pairing. And our final question is, a company wants to manage employee-owned mobile devices that are used for work. Which mobile device management configuration model is the most appropriate? Is it personal mode, airplane mode, SIM-only access, or BYOD? And the correct answer is bring your own device. So BYOD, this is a model where employees use personal devices for work purposes. MDM tools, they help enforce corporate policies, secure data, and configure access while still allowing personal use. And this is distinct from corporate-only configurations.